Good morning. Hello, all you beautiful awakening wonders out there. My name is Chrissy, and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 16th of August. Now, if you're new here, we talk a lot on my channel about the current global energies as well as the Great Awakening process. So stay watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell notification so you know my videos pop up as well. And hit those like buttons, guys, and comment down below. You know that I love to hear from you and we have great conversations here on my channel. And just before I start, I just want to let you guys know what's kind of happening here in Australia because the shit has hit the fan. Yes, Albo, our Prime Minister, arrived back yesterday. I have been talking in the last couple of weeks that he was missing in action. God knows where. We did question a lot of these things. Was there a secret meeting? Oh, with the throat today. Bit jammed up. But he's come out and he's accused the previous Prime Minister here in Australia, yes, ScoMo. You probably all know ScoMo, who recently lost the vote. Well, Albanese's come out and he's letting it be public knowledge that ScoMo apparently assigned himself 3 ministerial positions while the pandemic was on. I think it was Finance, Health Minister, and Resource Minister. So I think it was those 3. So he did that secretly by stealth because the public never knew about it, and even his ministers didn't know about it, apparently. So he could sign everything off. And guess who he was working with? Yes, they're talking about him and Greg Hunt work together. And as anyone on my channel probably knows, Greg Hunt is a leader of the WEF. Yes, the World Health Organization. Oh, not World Health. Sorry, the World Economic Forum. Sorry, we talk about so many things on here, don't we? The World Economic Forum and works for Klaus Schwab. He's actually resigned now. Isn't that funny? But he and ScoMo apparently were doing all these things by stealth. And he signed off things in the resource area and all this kind of stuff. So the shit has hit the fan in Australia, and people now know they've been getting lied to. This is on mainstream media. It's all, I mean, we know about a third of it's probably the truth. God, Albo's just using distraction. We know how it all goes. I mean, Albo's involved with the whole WEF with Klaus Schwab anyway, but I just thought I'd let you know. It's just good to know where we're all currently up to. So the shit has hit the fan in Australia, and now ScoMo's going to have to come up and tell the public why he sneakily gave himself all these positions to pass everything off. Health Minister? Like, really? Okay, well, we know he signed a lot of things off for that's for sure, during the pandemic. He and his buddy Greg Hunt, who works for Klaus. So just thought I'd let you know that that's on mainstream media. So we do question, like, where this is all going. But anyway, the fact that it's on there, it lets the public and these people waking up know that they were bloody lied to, because we all know it. Anyway, we'll get started. We'll see what comes up for the reading, but just wanted to keep you in the loop there that there's stuff coming out. Okay. Now I'm getting this, people are wanting to trade places. Now when I'm thinking of people wanting to trade places, I think there's a movie, isn't there, called Trading Places? Is that with Eddie Murphy? Oh my God, I'm thinking it's like a comedy show. Anyway, it is a comedy show that we're watching anyway. These people waking up want to trade places with a lot of us. Now, this is what I'm getting. They wish they had never gone down this narrative and that road of, as we know, dictatorship, your life being controlled, all your freedoms being taken from you, being constantly jabbed. Gosh, they're talking with the Moderna factory that they're opening here in Victoria. Yes, Dan Andrews has got his big Moderna factory. And that was on the news last night. It's all very exciting, isn't it? I know what you guys all think about that. Same as what I do. And, yes, so this is kind of scary for these people waking up, because they know they're going to be having to get millions and zillions of jabs, because they even said like they can make all this number of jabs per year, and it was just like, even I was like going, oh my God, that's just overwhelming. That means you getting jabbed into the future. So these people wish they could swap and, you know, like I said in the share song the other day, turn back time. So they stood up early in the beginning of all this with a lot of us and stood up to government, because now they're sort of, well, they're not stuck, are they? But it's like I said the other day, they don't know what to do to get out of their pickle, their pickle or their dilemma. They're not very good at getting out, because they're still waking up. We have to remember their process. They're still waking up and emerging from the caterpillar into the butterfly that they are. And that's a bit of a process. You don't kind of just break free and you're suddenly just a butterfly. It can take time to shed your old skin, which is shedding your old wounds for these people waking up. I'll see where else we go with this today. But a lot of them wish they could trade places and like just be getting on with their life. See, we're all getting on with their life. I keep saying it. We're like this mirror reflection to these people that you were bloody lied to, and they were lied to. And now, I don't know if you guys heard about it as well, but I just thought of that then. The CDC has now turned, oh yes, now unjabbed are equivalent to jabbed. Everybody's on the same playing field now because of the way it's all played out and that, and now we're all equivalent. So natural immunity, no one's still talking about it, but the CDC has virtually said natural immunity is equivalent to if you're jabbed, 5-6 times, who even knows? So now they've admitted that. You could actually Google that, YouTube it, whatever, it's out there now, apparently. But we know none of these people waking up are going to see it, because it's not on mainstream media, is it? So you can certainly share that information. I personally have pulled back a lot from sharing much around the jab. I'm sure you guys have as well, because that mass psychosis, I have got a video on mass psychosis. If you're new here, I did it about 3 or 4 videos ago. You can look that up. And I explain through the guides what happened during that mass psychosis when people got really hypnotized in the very beginning of the pandemic around the jab. People are still very raw around that, so I tend not to post a lot. I do post a lot of other things like the Netherland farmers and other topics. But if you're, willing to put that out there, that's great, but you will still get attacked for it because their pain bodies are very raw at the moment. So that's a very, very delicate one. Anything to do with the jab, as most of us know here, having lost family and friends, and 3 years on and we're still finding people that just would argue with us. So I just tend to personally stay away from that narrative. I'm sure that a lot of you do too, because I can tell by your comments below, we're all just trying to get on with our lives now, and to be honest, it's almost like we just don't even care anymore sometimes, isn't it? You just turn your back on it and go, this is just so ridiculous. All right, let's see what else we get. But that's the CDC. They've come out and virtually just admitted that. Go figure. We could have told everybody that right back when. But what would we know? I'm getting it. People are standing up now. They are. They're starting to listen. And I talked the other day about their sensory skills were going to start improving, and that they're going to start to get that information. It's going to come to them because of their vibrations changing. So they're going to start to get messages delivered to them like we all do. We're quite sensitive souls, and we vibrate that we receive information. We kind of manifest things sort of into our lap. Sometimes it just lands in your lap. And that's what's happening to these people now. They're starting to listen. It's like, I've talked about that before, when the Dr. Spock ears, when your ears prick up, like Dr. Spock out of Star Trek, and you go, huh? And like, can you imagine how many Australians' ears are pricking up with this whole Albo and ScoMo event that's going on, the shit fight on mainstream media about ScoMo lying? Their ears would just be going, because remember, they're all being taken down financially, all these people. So when you think you're hearing that you've been lied to, suddenly all the conspiracies start to make sense, especially when Greg Hunt's name is mentioned. That's just an example here in Australia. I mean, not a lot of people know he's involved with the WEF. We all do on my channel. So this is kind of what's happening. They're having their aha moments, and their ears are pricking up like Did I just hear that right? Did they just say he assigned himself to be all these ministers? He even had ministers in those roles, and he didn't tell the ministers. There was a financial minister, and he didn't even share that with the guy who was the minister. So we know it's all been done under the radar, under the carpet, stealth. And this is big global. It's not just ScoMo and Albo having their argument. See, this is the egos, like I talked about yesterday, the big globe heads. They're all competing with each other. They're all wanting to knock each other down. I talked about the softboard, them batting, their big globe heads off yesterday. Well, that's what happens. You get too many egos. Oh, like I said, the Instagram of globe heads yesterday, because they're all trying to knock each other down and compete with each other. It's ridiculous. Sorry, off on a tangent. I'll come back. Let's see what else we get. I get Belgium, Munich. I've had them a couple of times. I am feeling a lot of standing up there. Maybe you're being hit hard in Germany, and maybe you're getting hit really hard. There's something around that. I just get that energy of that rising up. And people, they've had enough. They've just had enough. They're just weary. They're weary from... You think about it though, like 3 years, this is for everybody out there. 3 years, our lives have been under some group of idiots trying to control everything and squash everybody down. And we've only all regained really, probably in the last maybe 6 months, a bit of freedom back. And even then, a lot of the unjabs still don't have their freedom back. I don't think I could travel to a lot of places still, because they still want those international vaccine passports. So I'm sure you guys are having the same trouble. It's not like we've got our lives back and we've got complete freedom. We just don't. And the thing is, I think what's always in the background or in the back of our minds, and this would be you watching my channel as well, we always know that they could just do this again at any time. It's always on our minds, isn't it? It's something that we can't, that's why I do my channel, because I need to share the information that comes through to me, and we all have conversations. But you always feel like, oh, when are they going to bring out the credit wallet, and when are they going to start to check on our carbon emissions? We kind of know these things are coming. And so it's always in the back of our mind that, even to be honest, like, I'm getting a new car soon. I finally found a car. And you even know they're going to have like voice tracking, and everything. Even when I think of the car industry, I often think, well, why is that on hold? It's very hard to get a car here in Australia. I'm sure it is where you guys are too. And they keep blaming the microchips and all this stuff. But you think, oh, what are they making? More advanced microchips that they can hear and sense and track and trace? Like, I always think of that. I'm sure you guys do too out there, because we're very aware of these kind of things. Like, I would never go and buy one of those Suris for my house or anything like that, because they can hear your whole conversation. I know they do through your phone as well, but you can leave your phone in another room or in your handbag or something like that. But, those Siri home devices, people have them on their kitchen benches and things, and they're just listening to everything you're talking about. Like, it's not even hard, is it? So these are the kind of things that are always in the back of our minds. We have a real awareness as people who are awake and who have been through our sort of awakening journey. It doesn't matter when you've popped on my channel, you might have only been on my channel for a week, but you've still got this awareness that there's so much else going on. And it takes a lot of energy and effort to keep moving away from that and to remain free of all this sort of narrative. And that's why we kind of look, well, we call it Terra Bella here, which is our peaceful place, our beautiful earth, somewhere that we call it is somewhere that we go to re-energize ourselves. So a lot of us get out in nature. We do simple things. We all have found sort of those joyous experiences. We even have a laugh at some music, and some of the guides give us crazy stuff just, I think, so we can have a laugh. Like even yesterday, the globe heads, like, how ridiculous was that? But it did conjure up an image, didn't it, of these global elites and their extreme egos. So, yeah, that's how we kind of navigate it. But we have this real awareness of, like, what's really going on on a grand scale too. So, you know, that takes a lot of effort and energy. So kudos to you guys out there, the guides are saying, for really staying true to yourself and staying in your power as well, and really removing yourself away from government, because that's the key. I said that yesterday too, for these people waking up. The further they get away from government, the less control government has on them, because it's harder to reach people the further they are away. So when they're pulling away from this stupid narrative of the jab and everything else, it's a good thing, because it means that government can't get to them. And that's sort of the gap that needs to be created. That's why things like I told you about ScoMo and Albo here, the Prime Minister's arguing, because it wakes people up that, hang on a minute, this guy's running our country and he's been lying to us. Hello? We've been telling them that for ages, haven't we? Yet another conspiracy coming to fruition. Oh, hang on. Let's see what else we get today. Oh, my daughter's yelling out to me. Sorry, guys. Tarada, I'm shooting a video. Oh, my God. Kids. We're all used to kids, aren't we? Oh, my gosh. Hang on. And see, this is what I'm getting for these reset leaders. Time is hurting these people. Time is hurting them, because they wanted to hit us and hit us hard and get their roll out. Now, I said yesterday, they've had to roll up the carpet. And you think about it, time, they would have had their deadlines, and they have, because we know they've kept saying it constantly. But now it's not gone to plan, and so it's all costing them money, and everything's like money. You think about it, if you've got a heap of vaccines that you've ordered, we'll just use the example of the Mpox. You've ordered all these monkeypox vaccines. Well, they're all going off. That's just a big waste of money that Big Pharma could have made money out of. You know, and all these countries would have had to prepay for all of that. So, pretty much we know Big Pharma's right. But there's been no uptake. So, you know, these are the things that have caused them to roll the red carpet back up, but it's all costing them money. Oh, well, not them. It ends up costing all of us money. And I think that's what people are starting to really realise now. That, see, it's this time is money. As we know, it's all about power and money. Let's see what else we get today, if there's anything to close with. See, they're getting really disturbed by all this, because a few months ago, all of us, when they first hit hard with this agenda of the renewables and we're going to save everything and just change, you know, we've got climate change emergency, and now there's this like little lull period. They're still kind of briefly talking about it, but have you noticed that it's really died down? And it's just like a small whisper at the moment, because I said the other week the red alert button went off for the reset. They knew that too many people were waking up, so they've had to back off. They've had to back off. And these are the things that people are seeing now. Well, how what's with this big emergency? We were going to have to turn all our heaters off and save power, and now what? It's not an issue that they've got it all rectified. This is the kind of crap we're getting fed in Australia. 1 minute it's that, and now, oh my God, it gets worse. You know how we talk here all the time about the weather manipulation? Well, now they've just come on and said there's some big El Nino, you know, they use their big weather terms, rain effect that's going to be affecting all the East Coast, right where they want to build all those smart cities. Yes, they said there's going to be torrential rain for the next 6 months. Can you imagine? Could you imagine? I told you about the towns here that have been wiped out with flooding up to their roofs, and they're only just getting back on their feet. They still don't have walls in their houses, and they're living in tents in their houses, because these people have got kids and everything, and now they're going to be hit with more and more weather, extreme weather. They said extreme rain. Like, how's the anticipation of that coming towards you again? So I don't know where this is all heading. I don't know what you guys are going through, but these weather manipulations, I reckon they're becoming a bit obvious to people as well. It's really sad. Some of the things that are going on, and I know globally this is a huge issue, these weather patterns. I know someone out there was telling me after I talked about the hailstorm the other day, they had a huge hailstorm in Melbourne. And it just come out of the blue. It was a sunny day and then bang. It was this horrific hailstorm, and they said they'd never seen anything like it. So we do have a lot of questions still around this weather manipulation. So yes, we've got apparently a lot coming, and it's all very extreme, you know. But you know, we know they're not sort of lying about those things. We know they've got the ability to do that. And get on with their little drafted plans that they've all got mapped out for their smart cities. Oh, it makes me sick. And they just go and give money away and waste it and give money to everywhere. And, you know, all the people in our own countries, even where you guys are living, are struggling. It's just complete madness, isn't it? It's the total imbalance of everything. That's what people are seeing. I'll see if there's something to close with today. People are just tired. Their life's gone to the extreme. You know, people have gone from having their wonderful freedom. And it's funny, someone actually posted on Facebook the other day, if only we'd known like 2.5 years ago that would be our last day of like freedom, we could have all had a big party and celebrated. So these people are seeing it, you know, they are. These are people who are probably jabbed, and they've realised that 2 weeks to flatten the curve just was a biggest lie. Oh, it's just sad, this journey, isn't it? But not for us. We've found Terabella, and we all have connected here, and we're trying to get on with our best lives, and we've found a way to move right away from all that and to get our freedom back. And that's what we have to keep doing. We have to keep getting further and further and further and further away from government. And just live the simple life, because that's where you find joy. It always was. That's where you always find joy, in just the simple things of life. You know, some of you suggest we go back to the horse and cart days, trading veggies. No reason. Well, we can't do those things because we're bloody tired and sick of all this BS and garbage that's being thrown at us as well. It's just, sometimes it's just all too much, isn't it? Here we are, still having to deal with it. Well, hopefully people are still waking up. I still see people standing up. Hopefully they get that strength and they actually find that strength inside of them to actually do that. So look, I'm going to leave you with that today. That's a lot to think about. But yes, know that that's happening in Australia. There's a shitstorm happening here, and it's great. People are seeing it on mainstream media. It's a miracle. All right, I'll say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody. Hit those like buttons, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye from Australia. Bye, everyone.